Hi everyone, it's me again. Back to, I don't know what I'm back to. I was going to do a conspiracy theory tonight, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Remember when I've always said about my old professor when he says, you've got to break down the barriers of propaganda, misinformation, disinformation. So you've got to get through that until you get to a wall and it's written on the wall, truth. And that's where your truth lies. But getting rid of that propaganda. And you see, there is so much propaganda going on today. But anyway, I was going to do this particular, as I said, conspiracy theory. That's what the Americans call conspiracy theory. Came from the CIA after the JFK assassination, when someone said there's somebody else involved in this. And they just said, oh, yeah, it's a conspiracy theory. So what you've got now is people using conspiracy theories as a excuse to get at the truth. That's all it is. That's all it is. So I was going to do this particular theory, but I needed footage, unfortunately, and I couldn't find the footage. We can't find the footage, but we have got it somewhere. It's in our archive. But it was a bit late to do. I said to Jason, I said, can we do this? He says, yeah, okay. But unfortunately, it was too late to have a proper look for this particular footage, film footage. It was just like, remember when I said about the Titanic video that I had, and I said I'd love to show this, but anyway, we finally did, and someone asked if I could show it again. Well, if you're willing, I can't show it tonight because of certain things. But if you want that shown again, yeah, that's fine. So tonight, unfortunately, I can't do the conspiracy theory thing. So what I want you to do is talk about anything. Anything you want. Anything. You could talk about two of the greatest comedians in the world. And, when you look at these, you just belly laugh. Remember when I said to you about what's your thing called? The lie detector. Remember? With Russ Rabbit. Well, my mate was over here yesterday, come to see me all the way from America, by the way. And I said, watch this. And you should have heard him laughing his head off. Laughing his head off. And getting away from Russ Abbott and the lie detector, which you should watch, it's absolutely amazing. It's only a little sketch, but it'll have your belly laughing. So, right, where do we go from here? And as I mentioned, about two of the greatest of all comedians, but I'm not going to go into depth with them. One's an American, absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. And the other fella's a European. And I think you know what one I'm talking about. So if you don't, I'll let you know later on. Two of the greatest comedians ever. Right, Ironside, never heard of this lad. Ironside. What is Putin's game plan after 500k soldiers dead, reverting to using Shaheen drones which attacked Romania today? Where is the original peace strategy of freeing the Donetsk and Luhansk? Dissipated. Look, you've got to understand, he's warned Europe. Putin's warned Europe. Don't forget the whole of Europe are onto giving Russia hell. They're supplying. It's a proxy war. You know, people say that it's an American proxy war. Of course it is. They started it all. Joe Biden, CIA and MI6, when they overthrew the governments of 2014 of Yanukovych, which was a disgrace. Yanukovych got in, by the way, on a majority to become president of their country. And the Americans said, like, oh, we gotta get this guy out, you know the Americans, don't you? And which they did. They overthrew. And in the process, were killing people. Russian-speaking people from the Donbass area. Anyway, so I've gone through that millions of times, not going through it again. So getting back to Ironside's thing, you know, using Shaheen drones which attacked Romania today, where is the original peace strategy of freeing the Donetsk and Luhansk? Dissipated. He's still there. He's going to free them. It's as simple as that. It's what you call attrition, war of attrition. And if you don't know what war of attrition is, you know, they just say, oh, come on. And they just destroy them. That's why you've got 1.9 million Ukrainian soldiers dead. That's why you see loads of footage of people being dragged off the streets and around Ukraine to join the army. Forced, not to join, but to be forced. Join the army, thrown in the front line, without hardly any sort of training at all. So this is what you have. And it's a warning to all the countries. You're not going over Romania, you're not going over Latvia, you're not going over... Look, to get deep into Moscow and St. Petersburg, you know, with these drones, you've got to fly over the likes of Estonia. You've got to use the likes of Poland. They're all involved in it. And after Luhansk and the terrible atrocity of bombing a school or missiling a school of girls and boys, that was the final straw. And he's also warned Kiev. He's warned them, get your diplomats out. He's warned the civilians of Kiev, get out of Kiev. Because what they're not going to devastate Kiev, by the way, you know, the city itself. They're going to devastate, and they will, all the infrastructure that make the likes of drones, that make the likes of everything. Bunkers, they're going to destroy the bunkers. They've got bunker blasters, and they're going to destroy them. And this is what they're saying. They're just giving them time to get out. And once they, if they don't move, these silly diplomats and the likes of NATO soldiers, you know, NATO's American, let's be honest. NATO is American, regardless of what Trump says. NATO's America. Whether they're there or not. And once if they're still there at these high-tech centres, which they're going to destroy, and bunkers, which they're going to destroy, every one of them, they're going to say, we told you, Don't blame us. So, I think it's a warning, Ironside. It's a warning, lad. And he carries on by saying, for a true insight into what's actually is going on in Iran and the Middle East, I would suggest your viewers to watch Tuesday TV. Yeah, watch it. Factual reporting and getting a true picture of what's going on the ground. Yeah, good shout, though. Very good shout. But I watch the alternatives as well. There's a few American intel people I watch. There's a few American colonels I watch, and they're coming out with the truth. So, it's the alternative news, because what you get here is total propaganda. As I said at the beginning of the show, Ironside, about my old professor saying, look, break it down, then you come to the wall with the truth on. And that's what I try to do on here. When I do the likes of current affairs, that's what I try to do. And bring in about the truth, rather than reading the Daily Express or the Daily Telegraph or anything. The Financial Times, absolute garbage reporting, because they're all following the same narrative. And you've got to ask yourself, who owns the newspapers? Who owns the media? Who owns it? So you see, that's who you're following, their narrative. And if you can't follow their narrative, you're sacked. That's why now you've got a hell of a lot of independent journalists saying this is ridiculous. I can't go on reporting misinformation. I can't report it. I've got to come out and tell the truth. We're hoodwinking the people. We're hoodwinking the people that's sitting in the armchairs watching the news. I'm not doing it anymore, or reading the paper. Ridiculous. And especially with the amount of deaths that Zelensky comes out with. They're losing one soldier to every 20 or Russian. Falsehood. Total falsehood. Ridiculous. You've only got to look at the when they swap the bodies. Russia give back 1,000 every time. 1,000. And what do the other people give? Zelensky and his crowd. Up the most I've seen is 14 to 1,000. The least was 8. No, was it 8? Yeah, 8. Say 8. But anyway, I'm going to see what yous have been shouting at me or whatever. And it's even if Frank in chat says the TW, IAT, mate. Like, share, and subscribe for Frank, please. Thank you, T. Thank you, T. Hope you're recovering well, Frank. I am. I'm still on the medication, I have to be. I have to be. So thank you so much for asking as well. I hope FSG sacked the drip before we have any more players jumping ship. Karate going is a massive loss for the club, yes. But you're getting these, I've been watching some, reading some comments on, a couple of pods. And they say, oh, he's cracking. I haven't a fucking clue what that lad's gone through this season. Everybody else has been crap, as you know, but they're just scapegoating him. Scapegoating him. Yeah, get rid of him now, you know. He's not worth it. And you look at Gravenberch and Canate, look what they're on. Look what they're on. They're here for the rest of the fucking playing lives, them. Who's going to buy them to give them the wage that they want? They're not going to leave Liverpool and say, oh, for a lesser wage. And the crap, pair of them. Touch. Think about it. The lovely Bella. Well, I say to Franco and all, you family, hope you're doing okay. Thank you, Franco. And on the mend, thank you, Bella. I should have been in Italy today. Well, yesterday. But my daughter's been keeping me informed. What was great about it, she sent me a video call because I told her to go to this particular place, you know, where you can have something to eat and a drink. And she was there this morning with Sophia, my granddaughter. And it was just to say hello to the person I know who owns the bar. And he wasn't in, unfortunately. It was a bit early for him. So anyway, the girl who was, you know, in charge at the time, she says, yeah, I know Frank. She said, I can't wait for Max to come in to tell him. So she'll video me, I'm not saying tonight, over the weekend with Max, you know, there, my mate, good friends, lovely fella. But I should have been there. She said, why isn't he here? And she said, because he's not well. He was advised not to go. That's it. So, shame, really. Hello, Frank in chat, says Edward. Hey, Edward. I'm glad you're letting on to one another. Oh, little Johnny. Evening, how you, Johnny? How you, Johnny, sweetheart? See, Johnny never mentions me, to be honest. And LFC, hiya LFC, good to see you. Evening, Frank and all. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Yes. Do you know that I can't even go outside? I'm not allowed to. Because of the flies and things, and it's shocking. In case they get near me, you know. Good to see you at LFC. And little Johnny. Frank. See the kiss for me. See the kiss of little Johnny for me. Little Frank. Little Johnny. Lindsay Ellis. Evening, Frank. Evening, Lindsay. Good to see you. Oh, my old mate. Johan. Good evening, Frank and Legends. Extremely relieved that you're feeling better, Frank. Thank you. Did you get my email, by the way? I sent you an email, you know, today. Hope you got it. It explains what was really wrong with me. And how lucky I am to be sitting here. The old mate Steve up in Mulholland. Hi, Frank. I'm going to see the Incurables tomorrow. He was here, yesterday. He was here. And I said that you'd be going. You and I think Barry. Not quite so sure, Barry. But anyway, I said that you'd be definitely going down to see him. Just go and see them, they're good. And they're they're at the pub tomorrow, the Cavern Pub and the Cavern Club on Sunday. They're good, They're a good band, the Incurables. Toscana, hiya Toscana. Buonasera, Franco and chatters, hope you're all well. Well, they all looking fine, fettled, to be honest, Toscana. They're all moaning as usual and letting on to one another, which is nice. And Donna says, Frank, I watched a YouTube history show, and where was a picture of you? Don't know what one you watched. Don't know what one you watched. Still haven't had my tooth done, look. I'm not paying £2 to get that done. Toscana Socanate intends to leave. I'm made up. There's more to it than that, though. I'm sorry to say. Toscana. More to it. I'll let you know. And Blunza Woman, Bella Rembe, historical. Yes, funny that. Yes. Evening, Frankie and everyone. Hope you're all well, says Barry Aldrich. Hiya, Barry. And Johan says the original piece of strategy went out the window when Ukrainian drones struck the dormitory in Luhansk. And that's a reply to Ironside. Yes. Yes. This is what I've been trying to explain about Putin warning everybody. Get out. All diplomats. He's not going to flatten the likes of the centre of Kiev, because it's very historical Russian, it's Russian, really. It used to be the capital of Russia. Very historical. And I think, I'm not quite so sure, but I think the very first Russian Orthodox Church was built there, and it still stands. And I think it's still standing. Whether it's Zelensky, because he was imprisoning the Russian Orthodox priests and parishioners, wasn't he? And then desecrating the churches. Remember a couple of years ago, he started doing that. So I don't know whether it's been desecrated or what. But he's going to Putin will definitely take Odessa and Kiev. That'll be the end of it. Good show to you, Johan. Come on. And Donna says, my all-time favourite, funniest scene is in Laurel and Hardy, Blockheads. You're talking about Trump, aren't you? And Arnie Slot. I think they're funny. The funniest people on the planet. My all favourite funniest scene is Laurel and Hardy and Blockheads. I don't fucking believe this. Going on from Luhansk and the war crime of bombing a female dormitory school It's a lot of Lunardi. You can't make these things up, can you? LFC. When I heard you mention Stan Boardman the other night, it brought a smile to my face. The Germans, and what was the name of them planes? The Fokkers, yeah. The Fokkers LFC. Those Fokkers were all over Liverpool. Bombing our chippy. You can't make Stan up, can you? It's funny, man. And Steve Mulholland, that drone going into Romania is a distraction from the terrorist attack that killed 21 children. BBC and CNN refused to mention or go to investigate. That was the most disgusting thing coming from any British media, not to go and investigate. What happens? They don't give a fuck. The Russophobes, they've always been Russophobes. Always have been. You can go back hundreds of years. You only got to go back to the Crimean War. And people think, the British, took them on in Crimea. What were they fucking doing in Crimea? Trying to stretch the empire. But they did have help. They did have help with the Ottomans and the French. They weren't alone. Couldn't take it. No one can take on Russia. I'm telling you now, nobody. It's been proved because they're taking on the world today. But that's a great comment, that, Stephen, because no Western press went. No West. There was one Irish investigative reporter, Shea Bowes, who went. And it wasn't like just a one-hit thing. It was a double tap. And they knew exactly what it was. No mistake. This is Ukraine for you. This is the West for you. Belarus. Richard Pryor, stay crazy. Funny. Hilarious. When they went to they got framed in this little magic town, and they were in the dock, and the judge said, "I'm fed up with you city slickers coming down to places there and trying to take over." And you just see Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor in the dock, right there. And he says, "You're going to go to prison for a 100." And Richard Pryor goes, "What?" And so does the other fella, Gene Wilder. What? Couldn't get the one out. Funny. And LFC, I was talking to a friend in the Ukraine on Monday, and it brought it home to me. She had just returned home, got a drink, and then thud. 2 or 3 of them, thankfully, they are okay. Well, that's good. I don't like to see any deaths. And Donna, it's a belly. And Paul Keenan, hiya Paul. I believe you rang me today or sent me a message. I'm not quite so sure. I was up at I was out again, wasn't I? I had to go to the doctors. Going to I think they've got a bed for me up there. Do you know? Ridiculous. Good to see you on the men, mate. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. And Toscana said, I'll have to agree to disagree. Ray Canard, I sympathise with his family situation, but he's been itching to sign for it when, and now they are not interested. He'd stay if the club agreed to his wage demand. Well, you know, okay, I'm not going to argue with you, to be honest, but if they can give 270k and 280k to 300k to Gravenberch and Gapco, come on, Toscana, please, come on. On LFC, sorry to hear that, Frank. I'll tell you something now. The consultant said, only for the quick response of me doctor when I phoned up because I was in a bad way. And the paramedics, she sent a paramedic right down to me. Everything was done within 2 hours. Everything from the paramedic, from me phoning the doctor, to the doctor sending a paramedic. Paramedic came, had me away. And I would have been dead within 20 minutes. Just imagine a little mad delay. And as the consultant says, I was being attacked inwardly. And you've got a cerebral thing here. And it was going up my spine. And if I would have got to around here, I would have been dead. And he said, you were 2 millimeters away from death when you came in. 2 millimeters. Not 2 inches, 2 millimeters. So it's a miracle, to be honest. And bada bing. What a name. Get a pallet with one tooth on 4. Where's that, bada bing? Where's that? I've got my tooth there. I've got my tooth. It's the little tooth. It's only little, but you know, you pull his alcohol out, it looks right. But anyway, let me know. I just wanted, I want it bridged. But this particular dentist was trying to con me. I know it. I know it was. It was a con. Definitely a con. Definitely a con. Bada bing. Bada bing. Brilliant. Donna, been saying my prayers for you, my Frank. Oh, thank you, Donna. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. But a bridge is better worth than 2k. I know what a bridge is, and I've got one. And the thing is, with the bridge, it is better. But I'm not having one of these you pull out yourself. No. And as you said, it's worth 2k. No, it isn't. Not when I've got I haven't got it here with me now. but I have shown the people. And they give you the price. And I said, I'll have that. Then the ads on. The ads on. And I went up 3 times to get up to where this bloody dentist is. Taxi fares, a mate of mine brought me, lovely, and they were messing me a fucking boat. So was he, to be honest. He got fucking lost. Anyway, by the time we got there, I gave him what I gave the taxis, you know. I said, yeah, look, go and get your petrol. Excuse me, Jason's just... Oh, great. Thank you, Jay. Love you, mate. Thank you. Excellent stuff, Jay. Thank you. Yes, so that was it. And it cost me, in total, the 3 times I went up to see this, with consultation fees as well, you know, only looking at me. And looking at, going like that, you know, in the mouth. It cost me, on those 3 trips, you know, combined, 330 quid. I'm sorry there, bada bing, but I'm not fucking paying that again. But I'm going to get, he's on bloody holiday. I'm going to get hold of the dentist who was seeing not the last time I was up there, and see what he can do for me. But as I said, you know, I said, I want that price. She said, okay. She said, okay. It was a lady. And, nah, sorry. Definitely a con job. Definitely. Well, you've got to have this. You've got no way out. Just bridge it. Well, if you do, that was it. And bada bing, you can't see it until you bring it to our attention. What's that? Bada bing. I don't understand what you're saying, lad. Honest. Oliver the 8th. Oh, Messerschmitts. The Fockers. And Toscana. I've just played the lottery. If I win, I'll pay your dentist bill. Mille grazie, cara mia, Toscana. Grazie mille. Well, knowing you, Toscana, you know, and the Porsche that you have, and everything else that goes with it, all the trimmings, you don't need to win the lottery to pay for me bill. Hey, poet, there he is, back for I've taken too much stick this season. They sit behind a team that can't win a tackle, doesn't run, and doesn't have a proper defensive midfielder. Baresi, Maldini, Costa Curta, Nesta as well would struggle. Would as well. He would. Good shout, that poet. Carl says, hopes your sound out, Frank. Thank you. I am, you know, I'm feeling a lot better with all this bloody medication, to be honest. I don't want any Zelensky stuff, though. You know, that white powder stuff that it goes around your nostrils, you know. Don't want any of that. Just rather have the painkillers. And Carl says he burns his house down, making it nice for Ollie for when he got home. That's one of the funniest things ever, that. It is. Definitely. When they're putting the aerial on the roof as well. And every scene was worked out by not Ollie, Stan Laurel. Every scene, he worked it out. The New Yorkers. I sold a barber shop for a gold brick, Ollie. Do you ever remember when they found a wallet? They were in the street, they found freezing, snowing and everything. And they find a wallet. And they just say, come on, let's go and get something to eat. So they go in and they invite a copper who's walking in the street, say, would you like come in and it steak with all the trimmings they bought each. And when they went to pay, Ollie, can I have the bill, please? Yeah. And he went to pay, he pulled the wallet out, and it was the coppers, he dropped it. And you see Stan ending up in a barrel. Did you see it? I did you see his head like that? Well, anyway, he pulls it down. Ollie pulls it down, and it's full of ice. And he gets out the barrel. He's got a big belly like that. He drank the water. It's so funny. And Barry says the Commonwealth Games coming up very soon. What a waste of time. Should be scrapped like the Commonwealth itself. Still living in the past as usual. We've always lived in the past. We've always lived in the past, unfortunately. And when the migrants come over, it all started with I remember when Hong Kong went. So there was Chinese coming over and people were moaning. Well, what are they coming over for? Because we ruled you for a couple of 100 years, that's why. We ruled them. And when we had to give it back in 97 to Beijing, and you get the ordinary people saying, I don't want Chinese. Why? Why they had the very first community? I'm talking about Liverpool here. In Liverpool, the first Chinese community in the whole of Europe. Do you want them to go back from 1826 onwards? Hey, here, Liverpool. I couldn't believe it. And when immigrants start to come in from the likes of India, for example, they moan. Anyway, Johan, have you seen the Green Goblin reburied? Oh, that was terrible, that wasn't it? A Nazi collaborator with the state honours in Kiev, yes. And when Russia get there, I hope they dig him up. And I think they will, actually. They're full of Nazis and people can't grasp that. They're full of Nazis, the Banderites. And look at Zelensky. He's a 2x2. That's who's running the show, not him. But a bigger part of the 2x2s is, not too far away. And poet says, letting Canate go on a free is ridiculous. Trent last year, Canate this. Why are we letting players run their contracts down? Very nearly it happened with Virgil and Mo too. You're right there. Point says, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I said this if people, I'm not saying you chatters because you know the score. If people just stood back and go, well, hang on. And I'm talking about other podcasters, by the way. But the comments, coming through off the ordinary people. I went to comments on that Anfield's Index, is it? Because I seen you on Moby. And I put in a comment. I put a couple of comments before, like the week before, and they weren't showing them. I didn't know. So I seen Jan. And I went, just because I know Jan. And I said, all right, Jan, hope you're well. You're speaking the honest truth there. That's good. Like your comments. Put a thumbs up. And it wouldn't show. I was looking like that. Then all of a sudden, underneath, came across, not just aimed at me, but everybody who was trying to comment. Whoever they were, I don't know if they were trying to comment. And it said, if you want to comment, you have to pay. What's that all about? That's disgusting. We're Liverpool fans, and you've got to pay them who sit on the fucking arses saying stupid fucking things. Things that we already know, and we know more than them. And you've got to pay to. I wouldn't ask a penny off anybody. Nobody. And I read the comments out. I'm not saying I'm great at all that, but I think it's disgusting. And there's another one I was watching today, and comments were going up. You could comment. When read out though, but if you had a super chat, it's read out. So you'd have to fucking pay. Not for me. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way I'll pay any of them. They're not even Scousers. I've got nothing against that, by the way. Honestly, nothing against. But you do have Scousers fucking asking for money. I don't. Never asked. I'll do it. This costs me money. It costs me money, this. It costs Jason, the producer, money. And only for these good people, get Peyton Services, sponsor the Frank Carlyle, every single podcast that I do, every single one. And they help us a lot. And while it matters, if you're an NHS worker or an elderly, get them in. You get a special discount. Even if you don't fit into the categories there, still get them in because everything is reasonable. They give you the price without any obligation. That's Gap Payton Services, the sponsors of every podcast that I make. And if you're going down to the Cavern pub tomorrow night, go and see the Incurables, great band. They're on at 5:30. Go down and see them. I had one of the band members here with me yesterday, Dennis Paparak, great fella, big red. And I was telling him things. Funny. But anyway, try and get down and see them. I wish I could, honestly. I wish I could. I can't even go outside the fucking house. I love the original Batman. It's hysterical. But I want to get back to what you said there. It is ridiculous, poet. And remember what I said about not Timmy, the quiff. Remember Michael Edwards leaving? And if anybody has got, honestly, a little brain, he only needs a little tiny one. Little one, not that big. That's all, a little brain, not big. With a little tiny little cell in it, that gives you some sort of communication. And you've only got to think. He left 2 years later, he came back. And even Manchester United offered him a job and he refused. During that period of the 2 years. Has anybody ever asked why he refused a job at Man United? Has anybody ever asked why he refused any other job? Did he know that he was coming back? And why was he coming back? Was it because he loved Jurgen Klopp? This is the thing you've got to ask. Then all of a sudden, he bounces back. Jurgen finds out he's on his way back, coming up to the new season. Jurgen informs his players at the beginning of the season that he's leaving. And people are always going on about Trent. Trent said, that's it, I'm fucking leaving as well. You've got to think logically. Well, I know that anyway. A little because people are calling him a traitor and everything. I disagree with that. And he's a scapegoat. I think some people don't like fucking Scousers for some reason. And he's a scapegoat when they're saying, I'll get rid of him. Always Jones is the name there. Curtis Jones. Little Johnny. I love the original Batman. It's just that, yes, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I used to see kids running around when that was out in the 60s. Young little lads. And they used to tie the coat around the neck, the sleeves, and run. Like, like the cape. Like, shouting Batman. And bada bing. Not your time, Frank, we call in. Yes. We're all in a queue, aren't we? You're right there, bada bing. Thank you for that. But it's being destroyed, poet. It's being destroyed, isn't it? And I mentioned this ages ago when I first started podcasting a few years ago. And I said about that female consultant, top consultant down in London. And she said, the privatisation of the NHS isn't coming through the back door anymore. It's coming through the front door. There you go. They can't put the same tooth back in. They can, you know. I'm telling you now. I can't get it now, but I could have proved it to you. I could have just gone. But anyway, you know, a false one. That'll do me. Bridge. But £2,000. No, I'm not having that. I could go to Turkey and get it done. I could go for a week, get it done, have a little holiday for £450. So why not have a holiday? And a new tooth. But anyway, Badger Bang, thanks. Well, I'd pay that. Badger Bang, I'd pay that. But when it runs up to £2,000, nah, I'm not having it. That's a con, that. That's a con, that, Badger Bing. But I'd pay that. To me, that's £800 cheaper, isn't it? Gentle dental care, children. Bada bing. Oh, I've got to write that down. Oh, I've got to write that down. You're amazing, you, mate. Thank you. I hope you're a mate, and, you know, I'm not calling if you're a female. Well, you'd still be a mate anyway. Let me just write that down. I haven't got my bloody thingy glasses on. I was going to write down Bada bing. So, mate, thank you so much. And you know what? Everything seems to happen to me on a weekend, you know. But first thing Monday, I'll be ringing them. And I'll get the phone number and ring them. Thank you so much. Thank you. Made up with that. Really am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bada bing. What the fucking happened there? What the fuck? Oh, for fuck's sake. Do you know what? That's where it costs a lot of money. That's where the con is with your consultation. And they say you'll have to come back. And what for? They already know what's wrong with you. You've got to go back. 3 fucking times I went. And as I said, it cost me in total the 330 quid. I've already wasted. Fuck them. Swats. 80. I agree with your comments, the Gapco and Gravenberg. The club's in a mess and it's difficult to watch. I've had to have a paramedics out. They are brilliant. Go away, have you? I think I'm the only one in the world who's ever been in a paramedic thing, because she took me lights up there. She says, you're going now. Can't wait for an ambulance. I went, oh, okay. Can I get dressed, please? Just stay the way you are. I wasn't naked, like, I had pajama bottoms on, and I only wear a white t-shirt. That's my pajama top. Got loads of them, just hanging up. And it's up there. And the LFC, if I could do it quick enough, we'll create a profile up for Bada Boom. Just hearing Frank say Bada Bing is making me laugh. I like that. Mr. B. Good evening, Frank. Good evening, Mr. B. Great to see you, mate. And Bada Bing, Lord Leopold Plumtree. Is that a Kenzo thing? Stan and Ollie, John Blimey, they bought a boat and trying to, yes, seen it. Funny. Everything funny. You're not going to go on about them all night, are you, Johnny? Fucking Laurel and Hardy. Only joking. Talk about what you want, Johnny. Only joking, sweetheart. Honestly, I'm only joking. It's not a waste of time for the tea, says the Bada Bing. It's not a waste of time for the tea. What's that? What's the tea? Young athletes. I'm lost here. Sorry. Ali, our Romanian friend. Good evening. Good evening, Ali. But how can you put Nazis and 2x2s in the same sentence? Being careful. Because I'm here. I'm being very careful. Bada Bing. Do us a favour, people. Let me know if you want to see that documentary. I've got to know. Oh, by the way, next Thursday, I'm doing a. I was asked to do a film and TV review of a weeknight, and I'm doing one starting next Thursday, and that's all it's going to be: film and TV review. Not like tonight where I had no footage to show what I was going to plan, what I did plan. So you're talking about anything, especially the likes of Laurel and Hardy, Istanbul, false truth. The whole lot's coming out, can I say that? But you're right there, Bada Bing, and that's I have to be very careful, mate. I really do. But they are. You've only got to look at Zelensky. What is he? You just heard your one saying that they was putting this fella. They dug him up. He was a Nazi collaborator, and they buried him with full honours, like a state burial. A Nazi collaborator. And he's head of the Banderites, Zelensky. So what does that fucking make him? Don't forget you had capos in these death camps. Capos. And who were they? They weren't Yemelines. Pointing them out. Come on. You're going for a shower. Shocking. And Mr. B left for 10 million, Robbo, Salah, Canate and Trent. Mr. B, you can't like. And Ali, last night a drone exploded on the top of a block in Romania. All the leadership went out to say it was a Russian drone, but of course was Ukrainian. They tried to push us into war. Yes. Of course, Ali. Mr. B. Kerkez, Hugo, Isak, Vert, Frimpong, 347 million. Let that sink in. You're on to Ali. Thank you, Ali. Guess he's gone now. But at Ironside was insisting that Russia is the aggressor. Take no notice of them. I've learned that. Johan. I've learned that. That's why he went when I said about, the coup d'etat, 2014. And it was a war of attrition. And just picking them off. And little Johnny got to have a video chat with the vet. See you all in a bit. It's nice, isn't it? Wonder what's wrong with it. Little Johnny, that is. Shouting words with the vet. I left shit. Happy days, Frank. I reckon I might just have a little one of them. Something rattling around in here. Drives me mad. What's that? Oh, go away. I fucking hate things like that, Anything. There was a fella who, and a young man, we were all young at the time, the ages between 19 and 21. Think about this. And we always used to go into this pub when we all went out, the lads, We were around 19, 20 at the time. And we used to go into a pub right in the middle of town. I forget the name of it. Anyway, we used to go in. And there was a lad serving there. Lovely big lad, Big lad he was, smashing. And he used to be made up seeing us. Because we used to chat to him, you see. And used to get us our drinks. Like 9 halves a bit. We used to pull them, Anyway. And we used to chat to him. And we went in one week. And he wasn't there. So where is he? Oh, didn't you know about him? What? He said he had a cold. He had a cold. And he tried to shake it off. And he went to bats. And when he got back, he contracted pneumonia and died. He was 21 years of age. There was another fella in Spain, and he was having a meal, and he went for a quick pee. And little does he know, that a couple of flies got into his food, sneaked in, sneaky flies, and he ate them. He just ate it. He didn't know that they were there, and he fucking died. Something wrong with the flies or something. Killed him post-mortem. Dies within 48 hours. That's why I hate flies. Hate them. And the doctor said as well, don't go down, and because I have to sit by a fucking bench shed sitting, living here. And all as I get is flies and wasps and bees buzzing about. So I can't bloody sit down there. Fucking terrible. I should be in Italy, as I said. Come on, give me a fucking break, will you? And Ollie, I meet someone. He is transporting cars into Ukraine. He told me that the most sold car in Ukraine in the last 2 years is Bentleys. But you've only got to go over to Italy and see the nice big Ferraris and Lamborghinis. I mean your original suit. Oh, right, okay, bad a bit. I made up you said that to me about the Chilwell dental care. I'll definitely do that. Thank you. It'll save me going over to Turkey. It's all like Turkey. I went once to a place called Kusadasi because, I'm a retiree now, lecturer of the Roman Empire. And I went over to a place called Ephesus. I've always wanted to go. And I went to see Ephesus. What a place. Oh, greatest Roman city I've seen. Incredible. I had the chance in 1992 to go to a place called Palmyra in Syria, because that is superb. I think in 1969, the Beatles were asked to go there for an open concert. You know what they were doing? And they said, no, you don't want to go over there. We'd rather go on the roof. So they went on that roof, get back and all that. And they could have gone there, Palmyra. And what happened? Well, ISIS fucking blew it up. They fucking blew it up. And who's in charge of Syria now? Al-Sharia. Hey, heads of ISIS, head chopper, chopping fucking heads off. America appointed him as president. You know why, don't you? And it's going to happen to get into Iran. Go and fight them for us. America always has someone fighting for them. Can't do it on their own. Can't defeat anybody. Fucking useless. And they say we've got the greatest military town. No, they haven't. They're fucked. And Ali says to Johan, of course, Ukraine is trying to make Romanians be afraid and send more money to Ukraine so they can steal more. And they cannot do that alone. Romanian leaders assist them. Romania is a puppet. You know that. And that Georgescu tried to stop it. And von der Leyen, Ursula, she stopped it. She cancelled the elections. That's how corrupt Europe is. Cancelling elections. Anyway. And since the war started, Ukraine stole over 5,000 Russian drones. Romanians destroyed 2 drones in Finland, Ukrainian drones, 10 days ago. And they cannot destroy the one in Romania. It shows it. And Mark said, slots gone, Frank. But it won't be announced till after the UCL teams are announced, and it will be by mutual consent. I've said that all along, Mark. Mutual consent from mates working at the club. The lads don't know who is coming in yet, but defo gone. Yeah. I keep saying to people, that he's gone. But I thought it would have been on June the 1st. See, if Areola, he hasn't taken the Leverkusen job yet, I wouldn't mind him. And Sebastian Hoeneß, wouldn't mind him. Because Xabi, the legendary things have gone with Xabi, unfortunately. Bada bing, you're welcome. Thank you, Bada bing. And Ali, the plan was to explode and make victims. So after they come out with Russian things, same demons who had led Ukraine, lead Romania from the shadow, same Soros. Soros is a bad dude. And the poet, NHS sits between the City of London and the 70 million health insurance policies. You can choose whether to have house insurance or whether to drive and have a car insurance, but everyone needs healthcare. Yeah, we're going like, I always remember Trump, and I'm going back years ago. And what he wanted the NHS, because he's in the pharmaceutical business. He's got every shares in that. He said, they're paying next to nothing. He said, we've got to do something about it. In other words, buy the NHS. That's what he wanted to do, buy it. So you and I would have to get insured, if you know what I mean, and everybody else. He always wanted that. And that was, I'm going back years ago. Even before he was president. And the other thing he wanted, I always used to watch, I don't know why, I'm not one of these mad little things, about airports or anything. But it just came up one day, Nuuk Airport. Now, Nuuk, never heard of the place myself. It's the capital of Greenland. And I'm going back a few years ago as well. And I was sitting there, and there used to be comments coming up. And it was good, so I used to get involved, just Saying, oh, isn't it lovely weather today? 9 foot of snow drifts and all this nonsense. Anyway, and then I was listening to someone. I don't know whether it was on the comments or something like that. That Donald Trump has been trying to buy Nuke Airport, and he's been trying to buy it for years, and that's going back now. Nuke. Now, what does he want? He wants the fucking nuclear. He wants Greenland. Fucking shocking what these people are fucking doing. Did you hear what he said about Cuba? Not Cuba, I'm sorry. Oman. He said, the Straits of Hormuz is... No, it's not, Donald. And anyway, he said, this is him. And if Oman tries to say something, which they won't, he said. Otherwise, we'll bomb them out of existence. That's an American president talking like that. It's like a school bully. Do you know when you're the age between 8 and 11, you're always as a school bully, even older, but at that age, horrible age, for anyone coming up to you to bully you. And that's what he reminds me of. A 10-year-old school bully saying, I'm going to punch your head in if you don't give me your dinner money. Whatever. And the bada bing, give them a ring. I will. They were great with me. Hopefully still the same staff. I'd have to do it when our Francine comes home because she gives me a lift, you see. Ha! What are you like? Johan. There's a lad named David Owens. And great archivist, great researcher. But this fella, Johan, where's my pen? Johan is overtaking him. Johan, the man. Fuck me. I don't mean that literally. Like, excellent stuff. Let's have to wait for that, Francine, to get home though next weekend. Thank you, Johan. Thank you so much, mate. Great man. Oh, right, okay. I was lost there, you see. Yes, of course. Read the document. Do you mean about the Titanic? I won't be able to show it tonight, obviously, but I will do it. I'll do it one night during the week because hopefully I'll be able to do something next Friday with this one, what I wanted to show tonight. You'll enjoy it as well. I'm not telling you what it's all about, but it's good. And you all know about it. Do you know what I've done? I've stopped eating crisps. Stopped it. We shall wait until you catch up. So don't never be sorry, Bada Bing. Bada Bing. Never be sorry to me, honestly. These are all good people. And the poll, hey Frank, thinking about you. I was worried about you, sincerely. Frank, do you rate Omega watches? Yes. Yes, I had a cracking one. And I mentioned I was with my old partner. Lovely lady. Lovely lady. And we had a break in. And I had my watches. Omega's one of them. And that went. I had one of the best. I'm trying to think about it. I had one of the best Cartier, and it was just all silver face, and numeral dials, you know. That went. But most importantly, what went, you know, there was other watches as well. Most importantly was one my old girl bought me when I graduated. And it was at, Buckins don't even like saying it, to be honest. I won't say it. Get choked up. That fucking went. Bought it 4 times. 4 times I bought it. She got me as on my graduation. And what was strange about it wasn't strange, like, what was unique about it, it had a yellow face. A yellow face. And LFC, don't forget to hit the reminder bell. Thank you. Thank you. And the poet, Frank, on film and TV nights is a good idea, Frank. Not just about entertainment. Plenty of films and TV programs of cultural significance too. Cathy Come Home, Boys from the Black Stuff, etc. Yes. I'll tell you the film I watched last night. And there was one part that had me in stitches. Maybe you've seen it, I don't know, but I seen it years ago, made in the 90s. And great cast as well, really good cast. Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley. And it was called Sneakers. Brilliant it was. And when I was watching it, you know, like, and then all of a sudden this fella appeared. And I've just watched him a few weeks ago. And he's up for Little Boys. He denies it, obviously. but he's incarcerated. I don't know whether he's got bail or not, but I've seen him in an orange jumpsuit, same fella. You dirty bastard. And that was on that film last night. But it's funny and good. It's really good. And there's a lot of, there's a hell of a lot of what's happening today. Everything. Everything. Sneakers. The polo. I noticed the BBC Sly News pushing the anti-Russian narrative. Meanwhile, 200,000 come on dinghy boats. Yep. There's not one who's mentioned out of the Western narrative about them young girls being killed in Lugansk. They don't give a fuck. But they don't rule the media. And you know who rules the media. I always remember, I'm going back to the 70s when Vanessa Redgrave won the Oscar. And she got up and gave a speech and she called them for everything. And I'm going back to the 70s. And the only person who was sitting in the audience was a co-star. And she was like, made up. That was Jane Fonda. Made up she was. Jane was a great activist. Still is today. Still has a little benefit. And Phil. Hiya, Phil. Hi, Frank, and all the chat. Late, John. Oh, you're always late. You've been on podcasts and everything. You have been out having a bevy. And a Romanian guy who lives in Monaco said that there are 30% of cars have Ukrainian license plates. Poor ones are sent to die. So rich ones became richer. That's some comment though. Ironside. Wasn't implying Russia was on the aggressor, just asking why it has to use Iranian drones to attack, but they didn't. Oh, come on. Where'd you get that from? To attack Russia haven't denied. Putin said no one can say where it originated. See what you... No disrespect here, Ironside. Honestly, no disrespect. But what you're implying there is that Putin hasn't denied that they were Russian. Whereas what he says, no one can say where it originated. Know what I mean? And if you read that carefully, no one can say where it originated. So he's not guessing. It could have come from anywhere. And he has warned people. He wouldn't. He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't sent in any drones. The only drones that are going are over the airspace of Ukraine, nowhere else. But I understand about Moldova, as they call it. Another name made up by NATO and America. Franco, says the lovely Bella, maybe when you are well and me and Toscana, the three of us should take a trip to Italy. Wouldn't that? Oh yeah, yeah. Vacanza in Italia per 2 settimane. 2 settimane in Italia. Love that. I was going to go there in September to. I wanted to get to Lucca because I love Puccini. And I was saying on here, when Andy was with us, I don't know what's happened to Andy. And I said, I want to get to Toscana. Said, I'll take it around there. I'm going in September. I was made up with that. Me and Andy were. Because we're going to Florence anyway. I was going to show him the Duomo. But yes, Bella, you'd have to ask Marcella to come along with us. That'll be good. A little fellow red. And Barry says to the Bada Bing, sorry, missed your comments on the Commonwealth Games. I was referring to the old British Empire, my friend. The younger athletes can have a British Games, don't you think? Yeah. And Polo. Why hasn't anyone arrested Soros? Oh, yeah, he's one of them. Of course. Look at Netanyahu. You know, he's only saying, was it yesterday, the day before? He said, now we've taken, we have 50%, now we've taken 60%, and we're going to take 70% until it's all gone. And he's talking about Gaza. Why hasn't he been arrested? Why? Trump, warmonger. He's a war criminal. Pete Esket, remember those boat people? Kill them. Kill them, he said. And he was two in the water, a maritime rule of law, even if you're at war with them or whatever, and there's anyone in the water, you're supposed to get them out. What did he say? Remember? Finish them off. Pete Esket, that greasy, drunken, tattooed oaf. And bada bing, Barry, but Jamaicans are not British, mate. Bada bing, New Zealanders and Aussies also. They belong to the British Empire. Bada bing, honestly. They belong to the British Empire. You only had a few years ago when Charles was a prince and he went over to give back the sovereignty from the British Empire to Barbados and Jamaica. New Zealand, British, Australia, British, the British Empire. Why do you think the Queen used to go there and visit? But technically, they're not British, they're Australian. but they belong to the British Empire. And ally to the Ironside. After Zelensky was elected, Putin knew how he bought Ukraine, and he wanted to protect this part of Ukraine from them. I don't love Russia, but that's true. There you go. And you're on to the Ironside. Why is Israel and NATO using American weapons if that's the case? There you go, Ironside, lad. And bada bing. But they train and are proud to take part. Oh, do you mean the Commonwealth Games? Missed you somewhere. And Daniel Jones Ortega, look at that name, eh? Daniel Jones Ortega. Hello, Daniel Jones Ortega. My grandmother and my dad grew up in Formby, but I grew up in Madrid. I'd love to live in Liverpool one day. What area would you recommend I move to when I eventually move? Love the show. Thank you, Daniel Jones Ortega. Come and live on my block. You'd be made up because you've only got to walk along here and you're in town. You're in the city centre. You don't need to go any further. And you've only got to walk up from where I'm pointing now. And, just a nice little stroll. And you're at Anfield, if you're a Red supporter. But if you're a Blue supporter, you've only got to walk along that way. And you come to the Dockers Club, which is Everton. But it depends Daniel, honestly, it depends if you've got a family. Formby's a lovely place. Woolton here is a lovely place. We've got lovely places here. Egbert, Woolton. Lovely places. Pick. You can pick. Chilwell. The Saint used to live there in Chilwell. And visited him a couple of times there when he lived up there. The Saint John. Bada bing. I meant all nations, mate. It should be about testing the youngsters to see if they measure up to time-wise. I don't know what you came about. And Stephen Coughlin. Good evening, Frank and fellow Reds. Hope you're all well. You'll never walk alone. Thank you, Stephen. Inside. Guys, I'm not talking about NATO or Ukraine or America. Just asking a simple question. Why is strategy legitimate or not now developed in Iranian drones attacking Romania? Carries on. This is excellent floppery. of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the defeat of our own behaviour. We make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and the stars. That's a quote. I don't know. It reminds me of a Robert Browning quote. That I'll have to paraphrase this quote by him. And he said, "What is the reach of man's grasp? Else, what is heaven for?" I don't think I got that right. Great quote. What is the grasp of man's reach? Else, what is heaven for? It just reminds me of that quote. It could have been Browning, something like that, from the Ironside. And Ali Franco. I've heard last night from a Prime Minister from Moldova at a podcast that even the Gazprom from Russia is controlled by Kazakh Russian Jew. Oh, go away. You're joking. Yeah. Mad that. Frank, are you up for a visit the week? Yeah. I'll return the book you loaned me. You've probably forgotten about it. It was originally meant for Chris. Yes. He paid me. You're not going to believe it. And I said, I've mislaid it. But yes. Be nice. But I was giving it to our Sophia anyway, because I gave him the money back anyway when he came down. I said, where have you been? He said, I got 14 years for armed robbery. I said, oh, okay then. And Ali to the iron said, well, I am Romanian. I can tell you that here. The leaders are controlled by the same people who control Ukraine, not Zelensky. Zelensky is a nobody. Yep. And he isn't. That's why the Russians won't. That's why the Russians will not get rid of him. They could have him. They could have him anytime. But they will not allow him to, all the money he's stolen. I don't know whether the Banzerites will kill him or someone, but the Russians want him. He's not going to enjoy his ill-gotten gains, his blood money, his thieving, his snorting. And they know even Lavrov came out and said, didn't he, that he's a rare drug abuser. How can you have a man in the White House, complete idiot? He's mad. He's absolute. I'm not saying insane, but he is a mental case. How can you have them running the thing? You have another man in the Middle East who's committing genocide, and nothing's happening to him yet. Then you have a man who's running a country. Well, he's not. I'm not going to say he's running us into the ground. He's run us into the ground, and after a short while, There's going to be nothing left of him. But he's not going to enjoy his ill-gotten gains, because one way or the other, they'll get him and bring him back to Russia to stand trial for war crimes. If he's alive, that is. If he's alive. Because I think he'll go. And Banderites will get him. Because he's hating them. Because they're terrified as well. That's why they're dragging kids off the fucking street and old men like me, giving me a gun and put me on the front line to get killed. Polo. That tribe control everything in America. From tech, media, we can't escape their headlock. No, we can't. And it's been going on for many, many years, and it'll keep going on for more many years. Anuma. Hello, Frank. Nice to meet you. How are you? I am fine. That's good. Humor. That is good. That you're good. And Ali Tabella. Found some cheap house in Italy, but I've heard that there are no jobs at all, especially now with this crazy politics from the EU. You're right. You're right. And great idea, Bella. Could fly from Liverpool or Manchester, says Toscana. No, we'll fly from Liverpool, not Manchester. What do we want to fly? You fly from here. Francine, I always fly from Liverpool when I'm going to Italy. Am I being mean by saying that? Where would you like to go in Italy, by the way? Whereabouts? Dove in Italia? Dove? Hey? And Johan? Frank, don't trust that Maya Tuzi TV as well. He wanted Israel to strike it. Did he? I never heard that. So that the monarch sitting, go away, can sit. I never heard that. I never heard that. I honestly never heard that, Johan. Fuck me. Toscana. Bada bing. What a great name. What a great name. Bada bing. And Phil. Frank, I keep saying it. Starmer, Macron, mate. They are hanging in for full NATO war with Russia. Epstein class wants a Europe in ruins. They came in and sell whatever they want, including Russia. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's a great comment, though. All good comments tonight, including little Donna with her little Laurel and Artie. Polo. Frank, I want to visit San Siro, maybe meet Maldini or Baresi. I think you get to meet them because Paolo Maldini is one of the nicest people on the planet. He was a great player, as you know, one of the best ever. And even when he was playing, when he was at his peak, he'd meet people and always had a smile for them. Paolo Maldini. I tell you who else I liked. I like Baresi. Actually, it calls me Baresi for some reason. Maybe I played like him, I don't know. And because my name's Franco, you know, you always call me Baresi. I don't see fucking him anymore. As jealous. You know. See anybody? And Bella says, yes, Toscano. Would be, Franco said, bring Marcella. The trouble with that, I'd have to bring the other 6. These are an arrest. These arrests from the war. That's brilliant. Excellent stuff. Funny that. That was funny. Little Johnny. I'm back now. My dog's got to get a canine cognitive function and osteoarthritis. Oh, treatment. Osteoarthritis treatment is what's been happening while I was. Oh, loads have been happening. There's been murder on here. Everyone arguing with each other. Tommy. Everyone. And unfortunately, one of the people, I'm not saying who it was, kicked the cat. And they've had to send out for the bloody vet. The cat went flying through the air, but they had the French windows open and it landed in a tree. You know, one of the nice trees they have in the garden. And it landed in there. So we had to get a ladder, climb up, get it. And as the ladder fell, and he's done his arm in. He doesn't know whether he's broken or what. So that's loads happening. And the battling. So they are proud to take part. You're going on about the Commonwealth Games again. Don't forget the Canadians. Say, yeah, the Canadians. Well, the Canadians, when you're on about Operation Paperclip, they're all there, and he got a standing ovation. That hunker, didn't he? A hunker, and what did that Trudeau say? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. What a prat! He was found out, Trudeau. I didn't know. And the House of the leader of the House of their Parliament was the scapegoat of it. Why did you let him in? Trudeau told me. You can't make these things up. And the Ironside. Professor Carlyle, come on, you are a very intelligent man. Russia are in possession of Shahid drones. And Putin, like you, use words very carefully. Putin is the master of words. And what he doesn't say also. Well, I'm not being funny, Ironside. Honestly, it's a good comment what you make, really. But when you look at everybody else, he's the only leader in the House besides Xi Jinping who are adults. The whole of Western Europe, including America, has turned on him. The Russophobia. Look, when you go back, what did you expect him to do when he was asking from 2014 after the coup d'etat to get Yanukovych out, who was democratically elected by the majority of the people to run Ukraine. And what does he want them to do? And from 2014 right up to 2022, he was asking the West for help. You've got to stop this genocide, which is happening in the Donbass area by the Ukrainians, because you had the Donbass militia having to go back at them because they were killing them left, right and centre, shelling them, shooting them. And that's why he went in. He never went in, he never declared war. It was a special military operation, and that's what he's still doing. But that Lugansk thing, that was the red line. Because they have crossed loads of red lines, and he's restrained himself. And don't forget, he's got 85% rating of the people of Russia. 85%. What other leader is that? No. You're seeing leaders falling by the wayside every time. Merz is going. He's a Nazi, him. You've only got to look at von der Leyen's background, family background. Have a look at that. Kaya Kallas. Whoa. What a complete and utter. She said one of the negotiations, Russians have to deplete and limit their armed forces and have a restriction on the nuclear weapons. Is she having all that? Is she completely thick? And this is what Putin has to put up with. Idiots who want a war with them. Starmy. Sorry. Sends in our Royal Navy. Leaky boats. Don't get me wrong, my dad was a war hero. He was an officer in the SBS, nearly killed 4 times. My dad, during the Second World War. Yet we've got no Navy now. Might have a couple of nuclear subs and that, but that's about it. It stands a chance. If America can't beat the Afghans, what chance have we trying to beat the Russians? Or all of Europe? Because if you think Europe is not in the midst of the Ukraine war, fighting Russia, you'd have to think again, Ironside, honestly, mate. Because they are. You never see body bags, do you? Coming back to England, going back to... At one level, there was 10,000 Polish soldiers dead in Ukraine. Never heard about that, do you? Remember the captured British fellas? There used to be a fella on Judge Napolitano was a man. His name was Jack someone. Jack. And he used to be reporting, soldier. Oh, he's fucking there, you know, with his uniform on. Let me tell you. And he was there reporting on the Ukrainian war. He was with the Ukrainians, by the way. Calling Russia for everything. No one's heard of him since. And he was on a few months, actually. No one has heard of him. I think he's brown bread. I think he's one of the 1.9 million Ukrainian fallen. I've got to ask you before I go, do you want me to show that Titanic thing again. Someone asked, if you asked, I want you to tell me, because it's a waste of time getting it all fixed up and sent and put on again. If only like one or two of you are going to look at it. I'll put it on next. Oh, fucking hell, I've got to finish. I've got to put it on next when I put it on. I'll put it on Tuesday if you want to see it. That's the Titanic. But let me know now if you. I'll go right down. You know what I mean? And to see if you've asked me or said yeah, reply to me rather than ask me. Replied yes or no. And the bada bing. History is exactly that. If. It is, isn't it? If only. Shortest words in the English language, if. And it's the most powerful. The Ironside. It's like the parody that Hamas and Hezbollah are great freedom fighters. Is that why most of their leadership being wiped out and that remains and the remainers hide in Qatar or tunnels, both infiltrated by the IDF? Well, Hezbollah, has anybody... Why is Israel... Just answer me this, Ironside. Why is Israel in Lebanon? Why are they in Gaza? Palestine? Tell me why. And maybe then I can explain about Hamas and Hezbollah. I hope I can get this. I'm going to show you something. Mate. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it up again. I can never fucking work this fucking thing out, you know. Fuck. I'm sorry about this, but I just... Oh, fuck off. Can't fucking see it. There it is. Got ya. I'm going to show you something, mate. Okay. I'm going to see. Oh, for fuck. Where's it? Oh, there it is. Excuse me. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to show you something. All right. I'm going to show you something, lad. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is nuts. It's awkward, you know, in here. You know what I fucking do? No one realises. I'm going to show you something. It'll start again. I want you to watch this. Okay? Okay? Yeah, watch that. Watch that little child, beautiful little child. See her? She's been given a lollipop. The first bit of kindness she's seen in her little young life, I'd say about 3 years. 4 at the most. Look at her. Look at her eyes, Phil. Look at her. A friend of mine, who I had great respect for, by the way, he said that was a mass propaganda. A little child in Gaza, and a reporter showed us some kind of, I don't know, love by giving her a lollipop. Not only her, but the other people. She came over, lollipop, and she looked at it. And her eyes, you couldn't see it on there, her eyes filled up. And he said it was a mass propaganda. I fell out with him big time. What a fucking phony. Whether it was a mass propaganda or not, that was a little child in Gaza being destroyed by the IDF. The fucking IDF. You know the Galgado? You know where? They're cronies. And that Galgado, super fucking woman, what is she? Wonder Woman. She was on active service in the Lebanon. What you doing when you're in active service? You'd have a gun. And active means you're shooting that fucking gun. Anyway, this fella, a mass propaganda. I'm not fucking interested in that. It wasn't a mass propaganda, by the way. It was just a fucking ordinary little crew going around filming what was happening. Have a guess what happened to that little girl? Ironside. Have a guess. I'll tell you what, rather than fucking guess, which I know you think what I'm going to say. That little child getting that lollipop had less than 72 hours to live. I'll just put it like that. And if I was fucking well enough, my friend, so I'd fucking see him and punch him right on the fucking nose for what he said. That's a child. A child being abused. Not by hands or anything, but by fucking bombs and bullets. Or was being abused. She's not now, she's in heaven. So don't give me fucking Hamas. Don't give me Hezbollah. They're fighting for fucking people who have got no one. No one to fight for them. My dad fought for me and all the rest of the country. Well, I wasn't born like, but at least he did his bit. Nearly got killed 4 times, shot and everything, blown out of the water. Because he was the equivalent on the sea of the SAS. They were protecting us from the Nazis. That's what fucking Putin's doing now. Protecting the people, Russian-speaking people, from the Banderites, who are Nazis. Fucking hell. See what I wasn't going to I shouldn't have fucking done this. So there you have it. Ironside, mate. I'm a massive Red, supported them all my life. Thanks for the advice. Hope you are feeling a lot better, says Daniel Jones Ortega. No matter where you live in Liverpool, you'll enjoy it, mate, honestly. But if I had the money like your name suggests, I'm not being funny. I'd go and live in as a child, I always went over to New Brighton and Seacombe. And then when we never got the ferry over, we used to go up, get the bus to either Ainsdale or Formby. Great. And I nearly went to live in Woolton once. Woolton's a beautiful place. Woolton. So if you want or Chilwell, if you want just go to one of them places, see what it's like. But, if you're going to live on your own, whatever, go on the docks. Around the Albert Dock. Fantastic places there. Overlooking the Mersey. Daniel, okay? Families like Rothschilds, Warburg, Schwab, all Jew families took advantage of their naivety for the white race. They destroyed economies from their countries, then bought them and make new. Yeah, well, it's a new. They always try to make a new world order. And Uma say, Frank, we're not doing anything in the transfer market. We let go Canate for free, and Senesi goes for free to another club. Yeah, I wanted Senesi. I wanted him in. I really did. Got to have an Italian in our team. Good one as well. Hit the likes and subscribe, says the Polo. Most of all, we hate St. John, and we're yeah, bada bing. We love St. John. Yeah, I love the Saint. He's a friend. Funny. One funny dude he was. Look at Barcelona, they signed Gordon and have an agreement with Alvarez. I don't know. Well, I'm not bothered. I'm being honest, Steve. I'm not bothered about Gordon, to be honest. But he'd be made up going to there. Basta. And Janet, hope your days are sunny, chatters. That's nice, Janet. Bada bing. Talking of floppery, that's a fine head of hair you've got, Frankie. No, it's not. Just because he had a fine head. Truth. And Daniel says, my theory about the slot situation is that Hughes and Edwards don't want to sign new manager because if they signs one, that manager was outlast them since their contract runs out in the year. Now he's going there, slot boy. Hughes, the quiff man. I used to call him, and they tell you on here, I used to call him the invisible man. Then all of a sudden we fucking found out why he was always invisible, Mr. Quiff. And that was, he lives in Bournemouth and fucking commutes up once a week. The fuck's that up? We employ him. And another fucking thing is as well, is Slot. When we found out where he lives in Manchester. Nothing against Manchester, the city of Manchester or Manchester people, nothing against them. But for fuck's sake, he doesn't live in the city that employs him. Could you imagine? Say like Michael Carrick, who's doing wonders at Man United. Could you imagine if the Man United fans found out that he was living here in Liverpool? What do you think they'd fucking say? No matter how well he's fucking doing, get him out. That's a sackable offence. Well, Slot's is fucking useless, isn't he? He's useless. And it is a sackable offence. I'm going to go right down. I want to see if, for fuck's sake. Michael Dooley, founder member of the WA, Klaus Schwab. I hate. He should be in jail playing his horrible man behind the curtain games. Wizards of Oz. He trained a lot these world leaders in the early 1990s. Do you know what? I'm going to go right down. I no disrespect people. I'm going to go right down to see. I asked you a question. I asked you, look at that. Janet Frank makes me happy when Sky's and oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right there. They fled to London, etc. As soon as the West realised Putin was no mug. The hate campaign, yes. All those Russian oligarchs were Jews, no one knows where they obtained their initial wealth. He's got rid of the money. I hope you know that. Loads of oligarchs went. And I think they were them. Frimpong didn't get picked, say Stephen, for Holland for the World Cup. So, not surprised there. He's fucking woke, of course he is. Look, I'm going to go right down because I really need to know. Dmitry Orlov, yeah. Yeah, I've seen him. Dmitry Orlov. I have. On YouTube. And Donna, that's a lovely little thing. How could we make the world a better place? Just get rid of the Americans. That's the only way. If Europe got rid of all the American bases, that's all. They're the warmongering nation, America. And the warmongering for a reason. And those warmongering nation people are a little part of the Middle East, a little tiny fucking part that wants to make it greater. And anything they say, they go to war. Escalate. I'm going right down because I really need to know about someone was in the fucking shower there. Yeah. Yes, Frank, show it one night, maybe at the film night. That's a good idea. I'd like to go back to Lake Garda, Riva, Malseni, in particular, a fabulous place. Yeah, Lake Garda's lovely. And Donna says, please, Frank, love to see that. Okay. That's true. Lorraine. Hello, Lorraine. Hiya, Frank. Glad you're well. What do you think of Esther Ransom and me and Carl sending our love? What do we think of her? Is she dead? She's dead. She well dead, isn't she? I don't know. I know she stole I know she stole an idea. Remember, she had that show, and it was someone's idea, and it was a teacher. And she said, "Oh, this is a good idea," and fucked him off. Esther Ranson. Well, you know her name, look, Esther Ranson. Fuck. Toscana. Me and Carl are sending our love. Thank you, Lorraine and Carl. Thank you so much. Titanic, yes, would be great, but only if it's not going out of your. No, don't be silly, Toscana. It's not going out of my way. That's why I ask. Yes, defo, says the poet. Yes, Johan. He worries about me. But don't risk your channel again. I think we'll be all right, you know. I think we'll be all right. Toscana. Champions League final. Are we bothered who wins? Nope. I can't stand Arsenal. And Starmer is a fan of theirs. So it's PSG for me, says Toscana. Johan. There's no Hamas in the West Bank. Why the fuck is the IDF there? Ironside. Exactly. I've always said, why are they there? I've always said, why is America in Venezuela? Why did they go to Venezuela and grab Maduro? Why did he want to bomb and take on? Oh, that's right, I forgot about it, didn't I? You know, Cuba, they've got 300 drones. They've got 300, and they're a big threat to America. Forgot about that. Big threat to America. Cuba, a little fucking island. That's America for you. And Paul, yeah, well said, you one. Don't risk his channel, Frank, but I'll definitely watch it. Thank you. Thank you. Prof. Carlyle, the question conversely is, why is Lebanon in peace talks with? They fucking have to because Israel. They're not in peace talk. Oh, come on. They're fucking getting killed now. They're getting bombed now. There's no peace with Israel. And the legitimate governments in Lebanon are asking Hezbollah to disarm, but would you fucking disarm? These have been fighting for decades against them. What do you think the IDF would do? Oh, come on, Ironside, lad. But as you said, war is war, no justification for any deaths. No, there is no justification. But what's fucking, what are they doing in Lebanon, the IDF? Why? Why are they there? It's been going on decades. You've got to ask yourself, what are they doing there? What's America fucking doing in Venezuela? Come on. Hey. What are they doing in fucking Syria? What are they doing all around the fucking world? You know, they call it NATO. It's America. Why does he want to invade fucking Greenland? Why did he say to Carney when he became president, we want you as our 51st state? And he fucking meant it. This is how demented this man is. And the American people are going around along with it. Except Dennis Paparak, who was here yesterday, just said he's a... But you're right about debts there, Ironside. I hate debts for nothing. And Johan to the Ironside. Stop being a Zionist shill, mate. Stop defending genocide. Exactly. Johan, here's a conspiracy theory. Standard Chartered told FSG to push Mo Salah out because of his stance on Palestine. And who was FSG again? And who was Standard Chartered again? And this is what I mean about some fucking fool Liverpool supporters. And I've said it, Johan, when I've been doing a Liverpool podcast. These fucking people who were there going, oh, they're great now. I said, they have it. You know, when they say, we don't want oil money, we don't want oil money. But fucking got oil money through FSG. What do you think they're involved in? Standard Chartered. Look at that. Our sponsors, Standard Chartered. Have a look at them. I've said it all the time. I'm sorry to say, the fucking tick. But have you noticed other podcasts won't come out and say that? Have you noticed that? Any fucking podcast. Some podcasters are all right, you know, but they haven't a fucking clue what's behind it. Johan, they haven't a fucking clue. Hit the likes for Frank, please. But you're right there, Johan. I'd rather you saying it than me. And I knew that. Remember when he said, Mo Salah, last November, there's someone who doesn't want me at the club. And everyone was saying it was Slot. Well, mind you, he's fucking part of it as well. I showed Dennis Paparak a building in Liverpool. I said, now look at that. I'm not telling you what it is. And he was made up, and he took a photograph today and sent it to me. He said the lads were made up. He said they were thrilled to bits what that is. And it was a fucking replica, I'll put it this way, of Arnie Slot's head. Mad Saint Jerry Gardens in the museum today in Liverpool's tenement safe stay. Yeah, born and bred there. Little old me. The new Liverpool waters look an amazing place to live. Yes, Donna, yes. And Frank, one of my neighbours, Mr. Patterson, was in the World War II. What became the... I remember you saying he wore socks, hoops pattern. He told me his regiment knew what they meant. I know, and yet they are. I think it was for identification, you know. It was for identification, you know, if you were captured and that, you know, and they knew what regiment you came from or who you belonged to. Sort of a identification. The Germans wouldn't know that. You know what I mean? And bada bang, bada bing. It's a no from me, Frank. You asked, okay? Just watch the original. Bada bing. I don't think you've seen what I put up. Honestly, I don't think you've seen what I put up, mate. That's why I asked, because someone asked if, unless you've changed your name and you're on here all the time, and you've changed the name, and because people do that to me, change their names. Just watch the original again if you're intrigued. Bada bing, the world is a fabulous place. It's people in it that spoil it. People in it are not spoiling it, fucking destroying it. And Toscana to Johan, I have missed something. I've never heard Mo speak about Palestine. He says, bada bing, sausages. Am I missing something with you, bada bing? And the Pat to Johan, I believe your conspiracy theory about Mo Salah pushed out. Maybe that's why Slot can't be sacked, as he was given the task and could grasp them up. That's life, c'est la vie. That's what all the people say. And the Pat. Oh, fuck off. What happened there? Oh, I haven't had time to get on lately, Frank. Why do you look 10 years younger, fella? Share the secret. Do you know what? My grandson came down. He said, oh, you're looking good, Grandad. I said, but inside me, I wish I was. Thanks for the Pat. 10 years. It's like a walk. You look like you're about to it, Matthew. I wish I could. The Pat, I wish I could. I haven't had a drink in 3 years. A beer. I haven't been out. Just wish I could, my old mate. The Pat. Uma. What is Liverpool thinking? Oh, are we going backwards? Yeah, we're going backwards. Uma. Klopp made a great team, and Slot and his fellows are destroying it. Yes. Frank, do something. Say back. Wish I could. I wish I could. And Phil. Frank, going to the gym to improve myself. I was posing for the missus to see if she saw any change. I said to her, song come to mind. She said, I had the tiger. No, it was, if only I could, turn back time. Are you slow there? Well, you should have Harry Nilsson's song, one of the greatest love songs ever. I can't live, I can't give any more. Croaky voice. One of the great songs, that. And What Is Love as well by, I forget who they were. But Harry Nilsson's great song. We do appreciate what you do, but your health always comes first, says the lovely Toscana. Thank you. No, I couldn't do it last week, as you know. I feel a lot better now. I came on was it Monday? And did well. I said I won't be seeing you until the end of the week, but I feel a lot better now. I'll be doing the history show, and only history on Monday. Look out for me tomorrow for the recording, by the way. Thank you, Toscana. And bada bing. Roman Empire invades everyone. Why is it okay for them, but no one else? Well, you've got to ask yourself, so does we. Do you think we went into, say the likes of India, for example, and said, all right, boys and girls, here we are. Look, listen, you know them spices you've got there? We'll have some of them. And by the way, you know, we're going to build your schools and things, you know, make roads, and we're going to be great. You're all going, no, we didn't. We went in and fucking slaughtered them. And I'm not just talking about India, I'm talking about the whole of the empire. When we got down to Tasmania, those Tasmanians, you know, for thousands of years, they've been painted up, hunting animals and, you know, crouching with the little spears to hunt animals to feed themselves, you know, like those kangaroos and things. And when we got there, you know, Captain Cook, all right, lads, let's see what's here. All right, boss. And they slaughtered every single one of the tribe. The Aborigines. Because they thought they were animals. Yes, we did a lot of slaughtering, making a British Empire. And everyone's made up. What's a Thatcher say once? Put the grape back into Britain. I'm putting the grape back into Britain. What fucking great. I'm a historian. I've read it, studied it. Not nice. They all think Churchill's a big hero. I want to read about him properly. No hero of mine. And Barry, yeah, Barry, yeah. Send me a message. Yeah, that'll be good. Be cool to see you. And Johan, America has been but hurt ever since the Cubans kicked out the 2B2's mafioso gambling dens during the revolution. 1959, yeah, when they got shut at Batista. Fidel. And they've been sanctioned ever since by the Americans. Fucking right to they have to sanction anybody, those pricks. I swore, I said, I'm not going to swear anymore. But people make you swear, don't they? And I go along with what Einstein and George Bernard Shaw said. You have to swear to emphasize a point you're making. Einstein, Albert Einstein said that. George Bernard Shaw, TBS, said that as well. To emphasize a point. You can imagine George Bernard Shaw, you know, Irish. Someone said something to me and he looked, fuck off. You could imagine that, couldn't you? You can imagine Einstein, Schwein, Schweinhund. Love it. Exactly, Greenland. Lovely Toscana. Grazie to Franco and chat is another interesting evening, better than watching most rubbish on TV. Thank you, Toscana. Thank you. And I know that he's all gone now. And if he don't sign anybody and let the players go for free, I think next season will be disastrous for us. Yes. You can imagine who, man. You know, go. If he don't sign, well, I never want to go free. Yeah, I know, Uma. I know how you feel, mate, like the rest of us. I'm Phil to Toscana. Telly is brutal. Of course it is. Especially when they show the town of brutal. Is that what you meant? Brutal. I'm not going to say what I think about Salah. I'm a football fanatic, say Babading. I love Mo Salah. I love him. What he's done for Liverpool Football Club. He loves the city. He loves the fans. He loves the club. And he got fucking shut up. The dog from That's Like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's it. She stole that from a teacher, I know. Honestly. That was his idea. Went to the BBC with it, and she fucked him off. And all of a sudden, that's life. I've never seen the documentary. I know what happened. Well, fucking watch it, Babading. Bada bing. I know what happens. No, just watch it. That must be the most depressing song. I can't live without you. It's a love song. I had one of my students come to my house once because I gave him an extension, and I said, "You've got to get it to me." I said, "You've got to get it to me by Tuesday." He said, "We're not in a Tuesday." I said, "Well," so I gave him my address. I said, "Come down. You've got to bring it to me." So he said, "Okay." And he came down, and he was looking all forlorn. And brought him in the kitchen, sat him down, and said, "Do you want a tea, coffee?" "I'll have a cup of tea." So anyway, I made him a cup of tea. So he's sitting there. I said, "Is this done? You've done it?" He said, "Yeah, I've done it all over the weekend." He used to call me Prof. And I said, "Okay, that's no problem." And I had the radio on. I said, "Excuse me, I've got to go out into the garden and pick something up." So when I went out and I came back in, there he is. Like, I said, "What's up? What's wrong?" Well, I hadn't looked at his essay, and I thought, he might have looked at him, brought the wrong one, or whatever. And this girl just packed him up like the previous week. That's why he was having problems doing his essay. Anyway, a song was playing and he just broke down. And what it was must be one of the worst songs you could ever listen to if you'd just broken up. And it was by the Big O. It's over. No more sunsets in the sky. Oh. I shouldn't laugh really, but it was such a funny memory. Yeah, Cher on the battleship. Was she dressed properly? Yeah. Cher. Little John. Good night, Chef family, and good night. God bless my Frank. Thank you, Donna, for the lovely kiss. Thank you. It's history. Okay, now bada bing. Just watch it. Just watch it. Just watch it. I can't ask you. You know, if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. I'll be showing us on Tuesday. Great people, aren't they? You know. I know what happens. It's sunk. Sure, it's sunk. Sure. Barry. Thanks, Frank. No problem, Barry. And little Donna, let's pray for utopia. Yes. And bada bing. The pricks who came in and saved the world because we were struggling on our own. Where was Italy when we were struggling? Fucking leave Italy alone. I'm half Italian. Bada bing. What are you on about? Where was Italy when we were struggling? Hey, I fucking tell you what, my great uncles were in the fucking First World War fighting alongside the Allies. Did you know that? 3 of my great uncles, not 2, 3, in the First World War. And we were also partisans fighting the fucking fascists, Mussolini's, El Duce's fascists. It's not told you bada bing. Know your history, mate. Especially of me. And Johan, I refrain from swearing, Frank, but the Ironside made me drop an F-bomb that tonight. I apologise to the ladies in chat. Well, I went to Cuba on my honeymoon, and it was the best country that I've ever visited. Says the master. Good to see you, master. Yeah, bada bing. The fucking Roman Empire. What about it? Do you know when they came here in AD 42? It was called the Claudian invasion. And 100 years before, 37 BC, say, Caesar came over and he wanted to trade with people. And they were made up. Fucking right. What's that? It's what you call a pot. You can put things in it. Okay. So we made client kingdoms. And they were trading. They were getting fed. They were made up. What they were getting with Caesar. And there was a fellow by the name of Vericus, ancient Britain. And he said, there are a couple of fellas trying to go around, trying to take our land. Can you help us? He got to Rome, and he asked. And that was the motivation. The Romans never went in any country without being asked. Did you know that? Bada bing. If you know your history. I don't fucking say to me, because that's what I lectured in, the Roman Empire. Anyway, so he says, yeah, okay. Now, Claudius wasn't an emperor. I mean, he wasn't a general. And the Roman people really needed to be protected by a great, strong general. So they gave him the opportunity to have a campaign to save this fella's tribe, the Trinovantes. So he said, okay. He said, and the Romans, the Roman people, the Roman citizens will love you. And they'll know that they'll be protected. So they went with 4 legions. One of the legions was to Augusta, one of the greatest legions in the Roman Empire. And it was led by a fellow, a young general, 20 years of age, by the name of Vespasian. But the whole of the force was led by one of the greatest generals, Aulus Plautius. Invaded. And we were running around. We were living in straw huts. And we were always at war and factions with different tribes. Because there was different Asian tribes. Always at war with each other. And what did they do? Bada bing. I'll tell you what they did, bada bing. They built temples. They built roads. Still a Roman road today, the longest road in England. Watling Street. You've only got to look around. Temples everywhere. Educated us. They educated us. Did you know that? Educated us. Taught us how to fight to protect our sovereignty. Did you know that? Yeah. Glad you did. And when they went to other places, the likes of Hispania, which is Spain, Gaul, which is France, Germanica, which is Germany, they educated them and built them things. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I went to a place called Ephesus in Turkey. And I seen one of the greatest of all Roman ruins. Incredible. That's what they were like. You've only got to go down to Fishbourne in Sussex. Because in 1958, there was a farmer, he was digging up. And he seen this mosaic thing. And he brought archaeologists in. And what they found was a massive, massive villa in Fishbourne. Bada bing. But the nice weather, get a coach down to Fishbourne and have a look at it. Or go over to Ephesus, see what they did in Turkey. Go to Bath, and see what they did there. Fantastic. That's why it's called Bath. The baths, part of it's still there. They taught us to fucking wash. Bootle-on-Sea, famous seaside town. Do you know Bootle was the most bombed town in the Second World War in the whole of the country? Just thought I'd tell you. And you answer the master. Cuba sent doctors to America after the Hurricane Katrina. They did. Imagine that. Sending docs to a country that sanctions you. Bet the people were amazing. As yet it went. And he said, Francis. Incredible. Steve Mulholland, he's gone now. He'll be having a bevy. And he's been, and like I said, this is a couple of years ago. He's been a few times. And when he went a couple of years ago, he said, I just got back from Cuba. I said, why didn't you fucking tell me? I would have gone with you. I'm only on my own. Can't go across the fucking road now. Phil. To get the dog to say sausages, the guy squeezed its throat. I'd say sausages to stop someone choking. I knew a fella, and when I was with my ex-partner, and he'd just been shopping. Oh no, we met him in a supermarket. That's all right, mate. How are you? You know, sure. Why are you, Frank? I said, oh, I'm okay. I've just been shopping, you know. And she told me to go and get a packet of sausages. You know, she told me to make to get. So anyway, he got them. And I had them in my hand like that. He said, I love sausages. I said, you what? He said, I love sausages. That's how he said it. I was standing there like that, and we just looked at each other. And she said, do you? She said, yeah. I said, so do we. I said, yeah, I don't mind. He had sausage, you know, and again. I had to get away from it. Sausages. You know, the S's, he couldn't fucking pronounce the S's. Sausages. Anyway, enough of that. I'll have to go right down. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I really do. I'll have to say that. And Cuban people are amazing, and they loved us more when they found out we was Welsh. Yeah, they got to South America, didn't they, the Welsh? Patagonia? No, it wasn't Patagonia. Oh, where was it? And they've got Welsh streets there now, haven't they? Today. The old Welsh. Liverpool University got hold of me. They're doing a documentary and they want me to, I'm not going to do it, unfortunately. When a Welsh village was actually plummeted to make, you know, a reservoir. And I said, no, I can't do anything like that anymore, unfortunately. And I can't go like that, can I? Oh, no, yeah, you know. Fuck. I'm a mess. In Dreams, the best song ever. God bless the Big O. The Big O, I had an ambition to go and see the Big O. And they were appearing at the Everyman. He was appearing at the Everyman. I went up in a queue, never got in. Never ever seen the Big O. Great though. I met Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and fucking hell, who's the other fella? Jerry Lee Lewis, Frank O'Connor. He said to me, do us a favour. He said, would you? I said, yeah, all right. And we went down to the hotel, you know, the Atlantic down there. I went down, and what Frank was doing, he was doing like, you know, he loves fucking cats for some reason. Anyway, he had these pictures, and he wanted. He went in to see Jerry Lee. Yeah, went in to see him first. I couldn't understand the fucking words he was saying. You know, very southern drawl. But he signed it anyway. You know, the thing, because he was auctioning it, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis. Picture, autographed. Best wishes, his name. Anyway, went to Chuck. Where you want, boy? He said, can you sit now, boy? No, boy. Now leave my room and go away, boy. I've stopped working, boy. He said, just sign it. You know, when he explained, he said, you cannot master the English language, boy. Kept calling him boy. You know what that means, don't you? So anyway, he walked. I love Chuck Berry, by the way. And I was just standing there like, never got it. And he went into Little Richard and gave him it. No problem. Just went out. Do you want anything else? Oh, we gave him an handkerchief. Yeah, with his initials on. Or LR, Little Richard, LR, in the corner, embroidered in the corner, an handkerchief. He said, would you like that to go with this? He said, But Chuck, unfortunately, he was my favourite out of the three of them. But he just came down. Chuck. And your dad was SBS, so why the British? Oh, listen, mate, are you fucking taking the piss out of me? Is he a fucking... I'm fucking banning you, mate. I don't fucking like you, what you fucking said. You're fucking someone. No, I'm not going to ban you. I'm not going to ban you. But I don't like what you fucking said there. Yeah, we are going backwards, Zuma, unfortunately. And they came in to destroy what was already there. They should never have changed. Last summer, that championship winning side, we would have won that league. But no, they wanted to get rid. That's why the other fella was told to leave, then come back 2 years later to destroy the legacy of Slot, their club. But instead, they've just struck. Well, he's got no fucking legacy, him. Slot. I'll have to go right down, I'm sorry. He's a fucking asshole. And the master. I may be wrong, no, you're not wrong, but most of the Roman takeover of Britain involved educating Britain. Of course they did. Of course they did. We were running around and our identification was different coloured woads on the cheek of our bum. Fucking hell. Bada bing. Carl. Hey Frank, I heard Churchill's dad was from Bavaria. The Queen's mother was German from Bavaria. The Roosevelts come from Hoffman family from Bavaria. Stalin was from Bavaria. It's all, look, you've only got to look at. I was looking at something today about, was it today? Yeah, today. No, it wasn't yesterday. And great thing, looking at a Russian church in Moscow. And leading down, they had these big pictures up and, portraits. And they had the Romanov family on. And when you look at them, they're the fucking image of our royal family. Because let me tell you now that the First World War was because of a royal. It was because of a royal squabble between the Germans, the British, and the Romanovs of Russia. When Tsar Nicholas II came over to Liverpool, he had to look around. He couldn't believe it. He said, "Oh, it's great, this place." And he went to see the borough jail. When he went to see it, he went back. He couldn't believe the jail. He went, "Fucking hell, look at that." And he went back to Russia. And he sent architects and engineers over to see this jail. So not Walton or anything like that. I was just along the road, the Dock Road, just off there. By around where Costco is today. And he went to the engineers, so he came back. He said, "I want you to build that." So he did the architecture, did everything. And he built one of the most famous prisons in Russia. And I'm not going to mention where it was. Have a guess. Have a guess at the jail he did. And Carl, hey Frank, what do you think of reptilians? The Viva la Revolution, yep. Frank, remember Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion, Eliza Doolittle said, "I'll catch me death," when Mrs. Pearce was trying to bathe her. The Olympia, says Carl. I seen the Beatles on there when it was called the Locarno. Me. Think of one of a few seen the fucking Beatles live. Me and Paul McCartney. And he was one of them. I wish I could go down, Phil. I can't move, mate. I've got to I'm waiting for an operation to sort me out. Frank, have you a VC? My granddad passed away. As his work tools on display in the Museum of Liverpool. Get onto that. That's brilliant, that. Right, so I'm going to finish. Thank you, Johan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I know where he's fucking getting at me with the Italians and the Romans. Thank you. And the master. Batabong. Men and women, if they weren't against the state or against the crown, fought to extinguish the Nazis. It was that simple. Batabong. Oh, well. Not even fucking answering that. Frank worked with the Germans as 25 years. 1 is fine, 2 start singing, 3 start marching. Frank worked with the Germans 25 years. 1 is fine, 2 start singing, 3 start marching. Now he's being patronising. Mind your neck and bada bing. Don't worry. I'm going to finish here, boys. Sorry. This channel is a good place, so let's keep it that way. It's all right. Bada Bing's gone. You won't see him again. But he might come back as another arsehole, you see. If you know what I mean, under another name. So, take care of yourself, Frank. See you on Monday. Cheers, legends. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Johan. I'll send you, read me email. I'll send you an email. I'll send you another one as well. Thank you, Frank, for a great show and a great community. Thank you. And on that wonderful note, I'm going to say grazie mille to all my Italian lovely ladies. Grazie mille. Ci vediamo. E lunedì. So, and to everyone else, thanks for keeping me company. Some great comments. And I hope you did as well. Thank you so much. And thanks for your encouragement, really, about my health. Thank you. It means a lot, you know. It really does. Thank you so much. Ci vediamo. Ciao.